Well, being a visionary and having purchased Canyon Title in 2006, my perspective already was very technology focused as an organization. When I came into the title industry in 2000, it was very apparent that most companies were using rocks and sticks to do their job. And having a background in technology, database warehousing, frame relay networks, selling telecom, and all these types of things, I looked at the real estate industry and I said, wow, there's a real opportunity for a guy like me. So when I purchased the company in 2006, I realized that I did not want to manage hardware. I did not want to manage software, and I immediately went to a hosted environment, seeing the value in having a third party managing our platform for us and making sure that a power supply didn't, cripple our operation for the afternoon because a server no longer works, and realizing that redundancy in data was absolutely mission critical when we're handling billions of dollars of other people's money. Wow, that's a great question. So in terms of, the hurdles then, I think it was pretty standard to have a very open environment. I don't think that people's infrastructure was terribly locked down in terms of perimeter security for your local area network, and they were using types of circuits that I think left them open to a significant amount of potential, data theft, etc. So when I came in understanding that world and having helped large corporations position themselves to protect their data and their NPI, we went state of the art right off the end of the bat, buying, at the time they were called, and this is still a technology that's out there, but I think kind of moving to the wayside, MPLS. So we were using MPLS circuits while everyone else is kind of on a standard T1. And that encryption gave me peace of mind as the owner, knowing that my trust account was far more protected than anyone else in the marketplace. And we spent a few extra bucks on that, and we were okay with it. In today's world, in terms of the transition, those have become standards. Alta best practice obviously shifted a lot of that. Just best practice in general for ISIT, security has come up quite a bit. But most companies are still managing and maintaining those systems themselves, which, it's a living, breathing thing, this security environment that we're in. And I think that's what's different today, is that the speed at which the criminals are moving is much greater than the technology can really keep up with. So if you don't have a partner in that it's their sole job to make sure that they're doing their part to keep you up to date and aware of the potential breach points in your data security, you're probably more exposed than you should be. So we're currently running Resware. We've been on that platform since 2007. We shopped, we did some homework, we asked our software vendor, Resware, who would be a good choice, and they talked about Cloudstar and the tremendous results that the clients had been experiencing. Well, Cloudstar absolutely delivers on the promise of high performance. I mean, we're 5 nines in terms of uptime, which is unique. We very seldom have any sort of interruptions of service. If we do, it's extremely short term, and the team is very responsive. Occasionally, we do see times when the system might become latent. Usually it's the side effect, or it's the byproduct rather, of some server that's malfunctioning or a router that's not working right, somewhere in between us. But as a whole, I can say with 100% confidence that the uptime has been exceptional and the performance surpasses that of any vendor I've ever worked with in this space. In terms of being able to adjust resources, there have been times where our transactional volume gets extreme for brief periods of time, and we've needed to, on an on-demand basis, add memory and add CPU processing power in the middle of a day, reboot everything and come back in and have twice as much horsepower as we had before. And that's something that's very unique that you can't get in an in-house environment, because in order to do that, I'd have to go have all that memory on hand and have all that processing power on hand to turn on. So it's a really cool setup when you can just say, hey, Cloudstar, I need more horsepower, and we're blowing all the CPUs out of the water right now. We're maxing out our memory. We're scanning and so many documents at the same time, and so many automated triggers are occurring that the computers just can't keep up, and they go, oh, no problem, we can turn that up. And so that's a really great benefit of hosting with Cloudstar. I want to clarify that I don't look at my partner Cloudstar as wholly responsible for our environment. I look at them as a partner in decisioning around what that environment should be and how it needs to adapt depending upon what's going on in the marketplace, with regard to how criminal attacks are happening, what type of malware is out there. Well, I'll tell you, there was a big outbreak of CryptoLocker going on, which wouldn't necessarily create issues for the clients directly. I guess it could indirectly, in that a CryptoLocker code would essentially hijack all of our files, right, and lock them up, and then you have to pay the criminal in order to gain access, and in many cases they weren't even providing access at the time. And so I worked very closely with Cloudstar to ensure that should there be any sort of breach with CryptoLocker, that it would only occur on our local machines. So we adjusted how, when you click on a link in an email, how that launched and what the process was, to prevent that code from getting into what I would consider the heart of the operation, which is what sits in Cloudstar's environment.
So Canyon Title trusts Cloudstar to provide them with incredible uptime, great speed, and reliable support. So for those of you looking for similar benefits, give us a call. If Canyon Title likes it, you'll like it too.